We'll just wait for another 2 minutes and get it started. And I see many people joining from Qatar as well. Thank you all for taking your time out to join this session.
While others are joining, I would like to give a small poll. Okay, I'll ask the question. All of you who can answer this, you unmute. You don't need to answer. You just show yourself with a sign, maybe thumbs up or raise your hands, whatever it is. Okay. How many of you are active users of Microsoft project, any version, 2010, 13, 16, 19? Okay. How many of you are active users of Microsoft project? Can you all please raise your hands? Any symbol is okay. I see Shajia Ahmed. I see Vinod. How many of you? Lambert, 3. Okay, Prasad Soman, 4. Five, Anil. 6. Yeah, even if you are just introduced to Microsoft project, I'm not an active user, but I know how it works. Okay, others can join. Okay, in the first poll, I got around 5, 6 people. Others who know about the Microsoft project. Okay, I see another 2, 3 more getting added. Okay, Mahendra, Nisha, Nishta, Aula. Okay, that's good. Thank you so much. You can please put down your hands. I'm going to ask the next question. How many of you are schedulers, project engineers or project coordinators or project managers? Okay, you are asked to develop schedule, any tool. Okay, it could be Microsoft project or Primavera, anything. How many of you, okay, do develop schedules, okay, on any tool? Mahendra, Prasad, Sashia. Okay. One more friend. I'm not able to read it. It's in Arabic. Okay, 4 or 5 of you. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And how many of you are certified PMP? Okay, the next question. How many of you are certified PMP? Please raise your hands. Okay, 3 certified PMP. Wow, that's impressive. Already I have 9 hands to be raised. 9 hands. 10. Okay, okay. Yeah, 10. All right. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll show my face as well. Okay. Now you can put down your hands. How many of you are preparing towards PMP? Okay, not yet certified, but I'm in the journey to prepare for PMP. How many of you? Those who have already certified, please put down your hands. Those who are in preparation mode, please raise your hands. I'm seeing 3. Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for your response. This is really very encouraging for me, as well as I'm sure you all will have something good to take away from this 90 minutes session. Thank you very much for joining. Ratna, would you like to give an introduction?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, we'll get it started.
All right. So good evening, all. Once again, I welcome all of you for joining today's webinar. So we will see a short introduction about Proventures first, then subsequently about the webinar. As I see many people joining from Qatar, we would like to give a short introduction about Proventures. So we are a 360-degree project management service covering people, systems, and solutions. So we are into process consulting, product development, enterprise solutions, and corporate trainings. So we are into our 16th year of journey, and we have almost trained about 15,000 people in this last 16 years. And in the consulting space, we have more than 50 customers or across the globe. So this is a short introduction about Proventures. As far as partners are concerned, we are the authorized training partner to PMI, and we are the gold partner with Microsoft. And our other partners includes ProChain for critical chain project management solution, TPG, and Intower. And we are also partner with the PM for NGOs. They are the project management for the NGO based projects, right? And as far as training is concerned, we are into all the professional training services of PMI. So these are the list of programs we offer. And related to technology, we are into all these categories, right? From MSP to P6, critical chain project, project online, Power BI, Primavera, everything. So this is our core strength. And moving forward about this webinar, I'm sure all of you have got the flyer about this webinar. So we will be seeing about a product called PERT Plus, so which is built on Microsoft Project 2016-2019. So this combines the analysis, the PERT analysis and CCPM, and provides a powerful approach to practice critical chain project management and monitoring your projects through Fever Chart. So we'll be seeing this briefly, and this is going to be a webinar come demo. So you will see how the product actually works. So in this you will get to know about the PERT analysis, contingency and buffer management, and project performance monitoring through Fever Charts. So these are the other things which we will be seeing in the webinar. So we have already seen Srinivasan sir. He's the founder director of Proventures. He has got about almost 35 years of experience. So he is PMP, PGMP, and PFMP. And he is also the certified lead assessor in the ISO 9000 quality management system from BSI. And he is also one of the founder directors of PMI Pearl City chapter in Hyderabad. So he will be taking you through throughout this webinar, and also will be giving you a demo. So there are a few things. This webinar, we can, whenever you have a doubt in between, if you'd like to ask any questions, you can ask in between. You can either give in the chat, or you can raise your hand and you can unmute yourself and speak. Otherwise, we will have a separate Q&A session towards the end as well. And this webinar carries 1.5 PDUs. So at the end of the webinar, we will be giving you a short feedback form. So you need to fill this feedback, and the certificate will be sent to you. All right. So with this, I'll hand over the session to Srinivasan sir.
I think Mahendra put a question. Can this webinar be recorded? Ratna, you can
yes,
record
sir.
it.
Yeah, it is. It is in record.
We can link it.
It's live on YouTube, so it will be available on YouTube after.
Okay, okay. All right. So thank you very much, all of you who have joined. I'm very happy to have you. This is our first session. And yeah, I'll put this. Yeah. So I guess you are all sharing. Okay. All right. I don't have many slides. I'm just keeping a PowerPoint open. Primarily, if I want to explain something to you, I can put it on a display mode, use my electronic pen, and then explain to you. And the PERT Plus instruction manual, the cover slide, what you are seeing, okay, maybe anyone who would like to participate in evaluating this tool for your organization or anything, I can send this PPT deck to you. You can follow the instructions and then test this tool. Okay. However, I'm not going to take you through these steps. We will try to go live on the tool. Secondly, 90 minutes is a little too tight to explain all aspects of it. I'll briefly point you to some of the concepts. Some of them are, I'm taking it as an assumption. One of the major assumption is most of you have used a scheduling tool, okay, preferably Microsoft Project or Primavera. Then many things what I'm talking about, you will directly understand. Okay, the objective is not to explain any of the Microsoft Project features. That will take very, very long time. Okay, number two assumption, uh, you all, to some extent, you know risk management, you know theory of constraints, and the project management based on that is called a critical chain scheduling. Because critical chain scheduling concept itself to explain, it will take about 1.5 hours. But I'll try to briefly, okay, tell you and then see how it goes. Okay, so with a lot of such disclaimers, I'm starting it. However, nothing will stop you from asking questions. Okay, please feel free to ask questions. I will be able to manage. Okay. In case if you are not able to answer at this point of time, we'll give you an answer at a later point of time. And this particular tool, okay, is a newly developed tool. You won't find it anywhere. There will be many other market tools resembling this feature, but this is a tool developed by my team. And in fact, some of the consultants who contributed, who have developed also are in this call. Any questions, so they'll be able to explain it. So let me start without wasting much of time. What you see on the screen is a schedule developed in Microsoft Project. Okay, the view, what you are seeing it is a Gantt chart view where, okay, you'll see some of the spreadsheet view on the left side, duration, total slack, predecessor, successor, cost, etc. And on the right side, you see a graphical view called Gantt chart, in which you have critical activities colored red and non-critical activities in blue color. Now, this is a kind of customizable screen. For example, cost at this moment is not required for me. Predecessor is enough. I don't need successor. I hide them. And then total slack, I may need it later. So let me keep it as it is. And then you see start date, finish date. Okay, a plan developed following the best practices of project management, as well as best practices of scheduling. And some of you may be knowing about a lot of do's and don'ts when you develop project schedule using Microsoft Project or Primavera, anything. Okay, it is also well explained in a standard from PMI called PMI scheduling standard, okay, which is also used for PMI SP, scheduling professional certification. And I happen to be also PMI SP certified. So to an extent, I have read that. What we have done as the first feature is to audit this schedule and then see how well it complies to the international some of the guidelines for schedule development and the schedule maintenance. Okay, so there are a set of about 30 plus requirements for a good matured project schedule. Okay, now those requirements have been kind of built into an auditing tool. So you will see on the left side, okay, the corner below file and task, a schedule audit. Okay, now this schedule audit will audit this particular schedule with respect to all those do's and don'ts of project scheduling, and it will give you a summary report. Okay, where this is not complying. Okay, and based on the compliance, PMI has a framework in which it will calculate points. Okay, for every compliance, there is a point, and then it will give you overall schedule maturity index. Okay, now that is also being built into this schedule auditing tool. Okay, now I have developed a schedule. I really don't know. Okay, what are the things that are followed, what are the things that are not followed. I'll just go and run this auditing tool and see how the report looks like. Okay, that is one feature, and I'll do it and then introduce you one by one. I'm not going and explaining all the features in straight away. So let me first run this tool, schedule audit. Okay, so it performs the audit and it has given the report here. Okay, you will see this here, project schedule optimizer. So it has multiple tabs. Okay, now sometimes it may be little tedious for you if you are sharing in a small screen. I'll read it wherever possible. The first tab talks about the project information as an overview. Okay, gives you what is today's date, reporting date, what is the name of the project, start date, finish date, duration, etc., etc. Okay, and then there is a second tab which gives about the current status of the project. What is the percentage complete? Okay, how much of work done, how much of work remains to be done? Okay, the tasks that are in progress, etc. The tasks that are ahead of schedule, behind schedule. So this gives you that information, and you will see an interesting thing here. Tasks with remaining schedule duration, tasks with remaining duration scheduled in the past. Okay. For example, this project is starting on 2011-21. Okay, which is 2 months before, and we have not updated it. So it tells me there are about 15 tasks that are remaining in the past without any update. Okay, it is an information for me. I would have forgotten to update, or I knowingly this project need to be moved to a different schedule. Okay, it is only a past project. So this is the information the tool diagnoses and give it to you. And then you see here, task with actual start finish date later than the status date. Okay, actually the truth is I have not set the status date. Okay, there is any task which is actual date. There is no such thing, so it is not a problem. Number of tasks which are manually scheduled, there is nothing, so it is a good sign. Okay, number of tasks with start out of sequence. There is a rule out of sequence in PMI scheduling standard. Okay, there is nothing like that. Out of sequence means, okay, you start an activity, the next activity, if it is a start dependency, it starts after the predecessor. Suppose if you overrided it and then started the successor ahead, then you are violating that okay, out of sequence error. So there is nothing like that. So this gives me an error report. If there is anything done against the rule, it will give the activity ID. I can export it to an Excel and look at it and then fix all of them. Okay. Now this is one of the thing. And then dependency. Okay. How many activities without dependency? How many activities do not have a baseline information? Okay, how many activities are carrying constraints? Okay, so like that, okay, you'll see a set of important scheduling practices, okay, which are followed or not followed. This will give a report. Actually, I have not baselined it. So 29 activities without baseline. Okay, the schedule itself having only around 29 activities. So that means all of them are not baselined. And then constraints, where all I have put flexible constraints, rigid constraints, all these things it will show me with activity ID. And all of them I can go and fix one by one. And then finally, it gives me a score. Okay, it says that, okay, the score for this particular schedule is 52, okay, out of 75. Okay, in terms of overall score, in terms of status, 10 out of 10, in terms of tasks and dependencies, 52 out of 75, and in terms of constraints, 10 out of 15, and in terms of overall score, it scores 72 out of 100. Okay, so this is the maturity index. Now, according to PMI-ST, if a schedule maturity index is less than 50, a scheduler will straight away reject it. It is say it is below standard. Okay, you cannot use this schedule for any actual tracking. If it is more than 50, it will be further evaluated in terms of where all you can improve the scheduling. Okay, so we followed that and then this is done. Actually, this is customizable. Okay, according to the specific organizational request, we can do that. Now, what is the background for this? One of our customer who is an aerospace and defense sector, okay, for them, one of the topmost aerospace company, I think you can guess what it is, the number one company, they gave them the requirement. Okay, your schedule should have all these requirements and compliance. Once again, those requirements are in line with US federal government contractual requirements. So this particular scheduling audit tool is built around those features. Okay, I can go and improve them one by one and increase the maturity to do this. So this helps organizations, okay, to make sure that all project schedules follow certain predefined terms and conditions. Okay, right now I'm not going to work on it. Okay, I'm just going showing you this. I can export all of them into an Excel sheet or build a report around that so that if customer is wanting such details, I can also submit to customer about my schedule maturity. Okay, so I'll stop here and pause for any comments from any of you. Okay, if there are any no questions, then I'll move to the next module, which is PERT plus. Okay, any questions from our audience who are active schedulers, managing complex projects, and then faced difficulty in terms of poor schedule quality, etc. Any questions?
Hello.
Yes, Parivesh.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, what I have faced many a times, we prepare a project schedule, right? We baseline it, and so we start tracking the schedule as well, right? But most of the time, I have observed there is, lot of mistakes happen eventually when we start tracking the project schedule.
Correct.
So, in that tracking stage, if I run this scheduler, Will it be able to show me where exactly I'm doing the mistake in terms of say tracking and all?
Yes, Parivesh. It is not just for the initial.
Okay.
In fact, if the schedule maturity is good enough at the beginning, the issues with respect to tracking will be very minimal. But still, what will happen is, I'll quote you one example. When you do the tracking, let's say two activities are following a finish start dependency. The predecessor activity, you have completed it 75%. The other 25, due to some reason, you are not able to complete it. But you know very well, you don't want to delay the successor activity. You make a decision to start the successor. Okay, and you give clearance also. And then if the successor starts, basically you are violating your own documented dependency. The tasks are having finished start, but you are starting the successor without finishing the predecessor. So this tool, when you run it, it will tell you there is a out of sync between this predecessor and the successor. And so you have an option. They can go and modify the dependency to finish, and then provide an appropriate lag and then streamline it. Or, okay, probably if you made a mistake, then you need to set it right, because that depends on the decision being taken by project manager and the schedule. So that way it will help across the life cycle to maintain the integrity of the schedule.
Okay. Sir, one more thing. Say I get a schedule, right?
Yeah.
Wherein the percentage completion method has been adopted to update the project schedule, right? And we know that it's not a recommended method. So recommended is actual versus remain, right? And in case if I get a schedule wherein the scheduler have used that percentage completion, will you be able to run this optimizer and tell them, look, that this is the mistake you are doing in
Yeah.
terms of updating the schedule?
Yeah.
So that
It
is
will
also
do. It will
okay.
do, because if you use percentage completion method, if the
Okay.
task is not according to the plan, the the actuals will be much lagging behind, and uncompleted work also will remain in the past with reference to the status date. So immediately the system will show you these are all the tasks where the remaining duration is falling in the past. Please go and set it right. Like that, it will give you guidance.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now I will move on. So you will see that this tool is an add-in. So a conventional Microsoft project will have task tab, resource tab, report tab, project tab, view tab. Now here, this particular tool is sitting as a PERT plus as a separate tab. Okay, that is what you are seeing it here. And the first feature or module I explained. So now I'm going to explain the second module, which is PERT plus. How do we perform PERT analysis on a project schedule is what we are going to look at it. You all know that the PERT analysis, PERT stands for program evaluation and review technique, which is a probabilistic estimation based scheduling. Okay, what do we mean by probabilistic estimation? Every activity or selected activities will be estimated based on 3-point estimate. Okay, you all know, many of you might be knowing, 3-point estimate means for an activity, you ask for optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic estimate, and then you apply a distribution method, okay, either triangular distribution or beta distribution, and then take the mean. Once you take the mean, you use that as the deterministic estimate in critical path analysis. Okay, that is how the PERT analysis should be combined with CPM, and you should use in a project management. So I'm going to do the PERT analysis now. So the first step is 3-point estimate. Okay, so I click this 3-point estimate. So you will see that a different view opens, and for the same activity, So you will see additional columns coming up. Okay, this is duration, which is our deterministic duration, and then 3 columns: optimistic, most likely, pessimistic, and the mean. So here we have used beta distribution, which is O plus 4m plus P by 6, okay, to arrive at the mean. And then we are also using one more, okay, the critical path variance, which is very important for buffer management. So we calculate the range between optimistic to pessimistic and then roll along the critical path, and that will be reported here. So this will be used for calculating the, okay, the buffer, statistically calculating the buffer. Okay, so I just populated it. Now the next question is, okay, how do we bring value here? Okay, you can basically perform your risk analysis for some of the key activities. Okay, let me just go and click the critical path. Okay, so for all critical path activities, what are the uncertainties involved? And then based on those uncertainties, what could be the range estimate? Okay, so you can do that and then go and do all of them, okay, through a systematic risk analysis. Or you just want to do at the overall project level based on some ballpark estimate, then I can go and do an auto-populating mode. What I'll do is, I'll do a click this PERT analysis, and it opens a dialog box saying, what is the optimistic? Is it 70% of the deterministic? If so, keep that 0.7, or let me say 0.75. And then what will be the most likely? Maybe 5% more than the deterministic estimate, 1.05. And then what would be the pessimistic? Maybe I'll say 40% more than the duration multiplied by 1.4. Okay, so with this ratio, the duration will be multiplied, and if I click OK, okay, it will be auto-populated. So now you see the initial estimated duration is 250 days, but the optimistic duration is 187, most likely 262, and pessimistic is 350. Okay, so the project can go from 187 days to 350 days. And if you want to make some adjustments, you can go and adjust at the activity level. Okay, that is also possible. And the mean duration is 265. Okay, and the rolled up variance between optimistic to pessimistic is 91 days on the critical path. Okay, so the question now is, okay, there is going to be a swing of 90 days from optimistic to pessimistic. Okay, so how are you going to commit to the customer is a big question. That is where I have to calculate the buffer with more, okay, as a thoughtful process. If you go with 250 days, if you look at the statistics, there is only 50% chance you can complete the project within 250. Okay, which is very, very risky value proposition. I need to increase this 250 days to at least some X with the increase in confidence level of 50% to at least 80-85% confidence level I need to increase. So usually what the industry does is take this variance and then half it. Okay, so let's say 91 days, I'll build 45 days as a buffer and then add it at the end of the critical path. Okay, this is how the critical chain project management practices. Okay, there are different ways. We have picked up a simple way. Okay, calculate the variance statistically and then take 50% or 40% or 60%. It is up to you. Okay, and add it on top of the calculated duration. Okay, so this is the one. I can also overwrite this 250 day and the individual activity duration with this calculated mean. Okay, that is 265. I can overwrite. That provision is available you will see here, adjust duration to mean. Okay, the third button. I can do it, but I'm not going to do it now because a lot of fractions are there unnecessarily. Okay, at every activity level, the fractions will come up. Okay, in this 45 minutes demo, it is too much to handle those kind of fractions. What I will do is, I'll straight away go and build only a buffer. Okay, so I will do that so that I can increase my confidence level from 50% to probably 85%. Okay. So what I'm going to do is uh, I will go and click the create buffer. Okay. When I create buffer, it will open a dialog box. Okay. And it will show me critical path variance is 91 days. It is equivalent to 50% buffer of 45.2. Now, what do you want to do? Okay, so I can just go and say that, hey, I need just 40 days, that is sufficient. Okay, and if I click calculate, it will say that 40 days is equivalent to 43.84%. I think that is good enough for me. And I can say go and create project buffer. Okay, so when I click this, okay, you will see, okay, a last task project buffer is introduced with 40 days, and then it ends with a deadline. Okay, we'll double click and show to advanced, and you will see here a deadline on 24th October 2022 is introduced. Okay, now this is very, very important for us to do this buffer penetration calculations and other things. Okay, and I'll say okay. I can make any adjustment and other things also. So now you have, there are two dates. Okay, this is a hospital project. The hospital inauguration, according to the original estimates, it is 7th September. Okay, now it has only 50% confidence level. Imagine you are inviting kind of prime minister or somebody to inaugurate with 50% confidence level. It's very, very not a good sign to go with it. So I am building a 40-day buffer. It is approximately around 15% of the project duration. Okay, 250 days original duration. So 40 days I am building a buffer around 15% and then put it. And this gives me a date. Okay, I'll just enter the, okay, this Gantt chart view. So it shows me, okay, the finish date of 24th October. Okay, 24th October is the safe date which I can commit. I'm setting that as the external commitment or customer driven commitment. And for my internal target is the 7th September. So in all likelihood, I should be able to complete it between 7th October to 24th, 7th September to 24th October. So you can take the 7th September as internal target, aggressive target, while okay, the 24th October as the safe target, which I can commit to any contractual obligations or to any external agency. Okay. Now within this, I will do the project. Suppose if you are able to do it ahead of schedule, I may get some incentive from the customer. And if it gets delayed beyond 24th October, I will be penalized, maybe even up to 5 to 10%. That will be a huge penalty. I'm going to avoid this at all probability. Okay, so that is how we calculate through a 3-point estimate and informed calculation of the buffer and setting up the buffer task. Okay, so if you look at it, those who know Microsoft project very well, okay, we are not limiting the Microsoft tool in any way. Okay, 100% of the utility is fully used. On top of that, we are building this, okay, the 3-point estimate, buffer task creation, and the revised baseline. Okay, so I'll just go to project and then baseline this project. okay, with this new target and say, okay, now I can make the commitment to my customer with now 290 days. Okay. So any questions up to this stage? Anyone, any simple questions or would you
Yes,
like
sir.
to ask? Yeah.
So, sir, actually, so what I understood, like, so you are taking 50% of the variance as a buffer, right?
Yeah. Which
Okay.
is ultimately, if you look at it on 250 days, it comes to around 18% or so, 16 to 18%.
Okay. So is this any PMI standard, or it's on any industry standard is there, or?
Yeah, usually critical change schedulers, okay,
Okay.
will take this 50% of the variance, okay, because this 250 days is having a confidence level of 50%. Okay,
Correct.
so still more complicated way is to calculate standard deviation and then put 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma for the statistically calculating the confidence level. Okay, this is, you can say, statistically, but in a simpler sense. Jayanti, can you please? Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's how it is calculated, Parivesh.
Okay. So in this, say if I introduce this 45 days of buffer into my schedule, right? So my confidence level becomes 80% or
It
88%
will
or
go to close to 90 plus percentage confidence level.
95%.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So can I
Uh,
say if I introduce 15% of my total duration as a buffer in my schedule, my
mm,
confidence level will be around 90%, right?
you can, as a ballpark estimate, you can say.
Okay.
Okay.
Got
Otherwise,
it.
it largely depends on the range. 3-point estimate that range.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Good. Thank
Fine,
you.
sir. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Anybody else have any questions up to this stage? Okay. So keep going. So now I have developed it. What I'll do is, just as a safety, okay, I will save this as another instance. Okay. Keep it as version 1.1 and then save. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, I've created the buffer and then I'll show you, okay, what is the base fever chart look like. Okay, for some of you who do not know about CCPM, okay, you should know. Okay, I create, now this schedule is risk loaded schedule. Okay, now those who also use work in terms of effort, how many man days this project, and the cost in terms of what is the total cost. Okay, we need to create cost buffer also. Okay, we have a schedule buffer, but also we need cost buffer. So what I'll do is, I will go and insert the cost column, cost. So this project carries a budget of 75 lakhs 37,000. Okay. Now, if you look at it, the buffer is 0. I have a schedule buffer of 40 days, but there is no cost buffer. So I want to protect against the cost escalation also. So what I do is, I insert a cost buffer. Okay. So when I insert a cost buffer, in the same percent, what I have given, no, that, okay, in the same percent, it induces a cost buffer. You will see 12 lakhs cost buffer is introduced. Originally, it was 74 x plus x. Now it is 87 lakhs. So I created a cost buffer. I'll just go and update my baseline because I forgot it. I'll overwrite it. And so my overall budget is 87 lakhs and the duration is 290 days. Okay. I'll go here, create a fever chart. Okay. So when I create a fever chart, okay, you will see here, those who know CCPM, you will be really excited. The green zone starts with the 0, 0. The x-axis is chain complete. The meaning of chain complete is what is the progress percentage on your project, okay, which is on your critical path. automatically non-critical path also will get updated. So chain complete is project progress and buffer used is the y-axis. Okay. So usually it should go hand in hand. As you register the progress, you can consume the buffer. If you don't consume the buffer, it will be in the green zone. So that means you can save some buffer at the end of the project and you can claim some incentive. Suppose if it is in yellow, that means, okay, you are going according to that. You may do well or you may also slip into red. The red means disproportionate. Okay, for example, if you look at it, okay, the 20% here, if I move to vertical, closed it goes to around 40% buffer. When you are registering 20% progress, and if you consume 35% buffer, clearly you are on the red side. You are disproportionately consuming the buffer. So that means even somewhere around 50 to 60%, you will exhaust the entire buffer, and then the project schedule will go beyond even the created buffer zone. Okay, so this is a very powerful tool, okay, which helps to monitor the project right from the beginning on an ongoing basis. Okay, you see how much you are consuming the buffer and then try to recover the buffer, make use of some techniques of fast tracking or flashing or doing so that you never get into the red zone. Okay, and then we will see how the trend is. Okay, I will close this now. Okay, we are prepared. If you want to, according to the organization, if you want to adjust the threshold, okay, you may be very conservative or you may be very risk taking. So you can go and click to change the graphical settings. Okay, the range of green zone, yellow zone, and red zone can be changed. Okay, according to your organization's or customer's expectation. So I'll just close it. And what I'm going to do is I'll just try to take 2-3 instances of this project, okay, and see 1 or 2 good instances where everything is going good, and 1 or 2 difficult instances, things are not going according to the progress, according to the plan, and see how the movement, how we can, okay, retrieve or recover the delay and all those things. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. I have baselined the project. I'm going to do the first update. Okay, all those who are active users of MS Project, you know, Pravesh was talking about percentage completion, actual versus remaining, exceptions, etc. There are systematic way to track the project. What I'll do is I'm going to do the first tracking as of today. Okay, this project is started on 20th November. So I'll go to project, set the status date as of today. Okay, and say okay. So as of today, I'm going to register the progress, 5th February. Now, all of you know, when you register the progress, it is important to set the status date and also enable the progress line. Okay, I'm going to progress line and enable the progress line against the project status date and say okay. So you see that the red line has come. Okay, all the activities on the left side of the red line supposed to have been completed. All the activities on the right side of red line are planned in the future. Okay, you should not update anything in the future. Then my scheduling auditing tool will shout. Okay, so as I told you, let's assume percentage completion method and say that the project is going according to the schedule as of date. It seldom happens, but just for our first analysis, let's take a good news. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to update project, or I can mark these activities and put it on mark on track. Okay, that is one way. Another way is if all activities are going according to the plan, I'll go to project, update project, update work as complete through 5/2/22. Okay, set 0 to 100% complete entire project. If I click this, okay, all the activities will be updated in one go. Okay, I'll say okay. So you'll see that all the activities supposed to happen, they have happened, and the project has registered, okay, a progress of an enabled percentage complete. Okay, so 23% progress is registered. Okay, so now I just run my, okay, the tool, our sorry, Parivesh was asking. I'll run the scheduling tool. So it shows me, okay, the status, the project is 23% progress and various other things it is showing. I'll straight away go to score. Okay, you'll see that the score is 79% now. Okay, that is because I have set a deadline that will give me about 5 credits. I have established a baseline that will give me another few credits. So my schedule is 79% mature. Okay, that's a very decent score. Okay, I am following the practices. Now I'll go to my PERT plus. Okay, and then okay, create a buffer chart. In case some activities are going behind schedule and you have rescheduled it and you would have consumed some buffer. Okay, so as a standard practice, before you generate fever chart, okay, you can mark the buffer task and you can adjust the contingency correction. Okay, so it will actually consume the buffer and show you a real-time buffer chart. Okay, I'll just do that. It says that contingency adjustment is not required for the task with positive total task. It's just an information. I said okay, and then go for fever chart. Okay, so I think we have used a very light color, but I'll just copy this and then take you to that PPT so that I can explain it better. Just give me one moment. Okay, I'll take this empty sheet. Sorry, I paste it. I'll show it to you. So now you'll be able to see a bigger picture. So now what you see here is the fever chart. So this was the original point. Okay, the starting point. Now we have registered 23% progress. Okay, and we have not consumed any buffer. Okay, so this is the journey, okay, that we have underwent. Okay, it's a very, very impressive start. Okay, we are in the green zone, no buffer consumption, but 23% progress has been registered. On the right side, you will see chain complete 22.84, chain remaining 77.16, and buffer used is 0, and buffer remaining is 100% as on 5/2/21. Okay, so this is okay the benefit of doing this analysis. So what I'll do is I'll go to my MPP. Okay, go to my fever chart. Okay, and say put some remark. Okay, this is my first update. Okay, and say going good. Okay, so this is for the future. Okay, if there is any incident, any actions taken, you can record it and then you can submit. That will be available for the future. Okay, as a root cause analysis. And then I'll close this buffer chart. And I'll go to project schedule. Okay, so I've done my first update. It is going good, 23% progress. I have not consumed any buffer. Any questions at this stage? Any of you, any questions you would like to clarify? Any, I want probably any comments from any experienced scheduler who have.
Hello, sir. This is JP.
Yes, JP. Yeah, thanks.
Yes, sir. So the buffer consumption, what you have shown on the favor chart, does it indicate if there is budget-wise or I mean monetary value or timeline value?
Very good, very good. Okay, now currently the system is developed only for schedule. Okay. When it comes to budget, you know very well that this 12 lakh, okay, is meant for contingency. If there is a cost to overrun, let's say about 4 or 5 lakhs cost to overrun, and you want to take it out of this buffer, so what you can do is reduce this buffer to that extent. Okay, you can reduce this 12 lakhs into 8 lakhs, and then your overall cost variance will become 0. Okay, so thereby you can monitor it, but it is only a question of suppose if you want a report on cost variance and how you have consumed the cost buffer, you need to just prepare another report and then give it to you, because the data is available and we can basically do that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Okay. Right. I'll go for the next update. So I'll go to project and then take a status date from today, and I'll take it to probably 1.5 months from now. I'll take it to April 30th. Okay. So 2 months from now into the future, I'm setting my status date and I'll say, okay. So you'll see here, there are so many activities are to be completed as of April 30th. Okay. So what I'll do now is I'll put couple of activities according to the target. Let's say as ground floor. I'll go to task and put it as mark on track. Okay, so these activities are going mark on track. And then first floor RCC column, 5 days. Okay, I'll just put it mark on track. Okay, if there is a full day workshop, I can ask suggestions from you, but now we don't have time. I'll just take it mark on track. When it comes to centering for the first floor roof slab, okay, let's assume I planned for 15 days, but there is some problem. Okay, transportation of centering material or some curing of the column, something like that. So what I'm going to do is insert, put the actual duration. Okay, this activity should have been completed much before. Okay, so I put that I have spent about 20 days for this task. Okay, 20 days. Okay, so you will see immediately, since this activity is on critical path, instead of 15 days, I took 20 days. So now the whole set of activities got delayed, and my hospital inauguration has moved from 8th to 13th, and the project buffer, the deadline is crossed, and there is a message here. This task goes past its deadline on 24th October. Okay, currently it is expected to complete by, let me point it and show you. Okay, or I can enable the finish date and show it to you. So this is how it happens. Okay, and all other activities, so let's assume, has gone according to the plan. Okay, I'll just go here, project, update project. Okay, update as through 30th for entire project, and I'll say okay. So rest of the activities are updated. So you will see up to activity 25. Okay, brickwork and plastering, up to that stage It is done, except that 5-day delay on one centering. Okay, first floor centering activity. Now, like this, you can register your own progress according to the site condition. So now, if you look at it, the project has completed 45%. Okay, there is a 5-day delay. There is a negative slack. Okay, now I know very well that I have 40 days of buffer with me. This 5 days is nothing, but I need to register it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'll go and mark this task, go to PERT plus, okay, correct the contingency. Okay, I'll click this. So are you sure you want to adjust the contingency for the selected buffer task? Yes. Okay, so it reduces the buffer from 40 to 35. Okay, so there is a 5 days of buffer out of 80 days. Sorry, 40 days. Okay, 5 by 40 is 1 by 8. So that means roughly 12.5% of buffer is consumed. And the progress registered is 46%. Okay, so let me go and recreate the buffer fever chart as of today. And you will see here, my buffer consumption has increased to that much percentage. My progress is, okay, 45%, but still I'm in the green zone. Okay, I'm doing good. Okay, so this is my second update. Okay, as on 30th. Okay, I'll just put a comment. First floor. Okay, centering. Okay, delayed by 5 days. Okay, rest of the things normal. Okay, and then against the status date, okay, this will be stored. I say submit. Okay, so now every instance of the buffer chart will be saved. Okay, I can go and see what was my update on 5th February. Okay, you'll see that point. What was my base? All these things are stored in the background for my causal analysis. Okay, I updated it. So this is my second update. Okay, I'm still in control. Okay, and I come up to this. Please don't blame me. Sir, in a real time, it doesn't go so smooth, especially construction project. And you will have, okay, all those information available to you to take an appropriate corrective action. Okay. So any questions at this point of time? Suppose if I say I've done some actual cost, the actual cost has increased by so much. I want to adjust the cost contingency. All those things can be done seamlessly. We don't do it auto correction because the PM should evaluate how much of buffer I can take it, how much of buffer I can leave it within the threshold. So he can make decisions and then act on it. Okay, so time now is 19:06. I have another 60% of the work to complete. Shall I move on to the next update? I'll create one bad news. So let's go. I will go to project status update, and from April, I'll go to May 31st. Okay. No, probably I'll go to May 31st or June. So let me see, I'll go to June, see where it is. Okay, June 30th. Say okay. Yeah. So the project moves almost, many of the finishing activities will be done. The drainage water lines, okay, should be completed, and the next flooring in all floors that needs to be done. And finally, the painting and the inauguration will be pending. Okay, rest of them will be completed. But let's do something. The first coat plastering, I'll go and set it on track. And when it comes to drainage, as we did before, there is some problem with GHMC connection. The guys did not turn up and there were some issues. So we could not complete connecting to, okay, there is an external constraint which we could not do that. Actual duration probably, let's say, took about 45 days, okay, which is generally happens I go and do that. Okay. So you see here the project has moved to 30th September in terms of inauguration, and there is a significant buffer is consumed. Okay. Unfortunate, but let us accept it. And then flooring activity could not be started because of the previous activity got unduly delayed. Now, this is the place you can do override. Okay, you can say initially we set draining versus flooring. Now it looks like inside the building, all those okay below floor level have been completed. Why not we start flooring? Okay, why should we wait? So the project manager can take a decision to start okay the flooring as planned. So I double click this and then put a lead of probably 10 days. Okay, so ahead of 10 days, I can start and say, okay, I'm so sorry, I should have put -10. See, you see how -10 days and say, okay. So I'm doing a overriding, putting a lead and start the successor, okay, ahead of it. And my delay of 15 days, it has come back to 5 days. Okay, now the delay is only 5 days. Okay, so this is how it will help you to take corrections time to time. Okay, based on the site conditions, how you can do that. Okay, so I rescheduled it and then I marked all of them and then put it as mark on track, and these activities are done. So you see here flooring as of this date, 7 days of work is completed. In spite of drainage got delayed. Okay, I accelerated the successor and then started early and recovered almost 10 days of my or 15 days of my project schedule, 10 to 15 days. Okay, now I'll go and make the correction, buffer correction. So my overall progress is 78% and my buffer consumption is only 25%. Okay, I'll mark it and then go to PERT plus, okay, contingency correction, say yes, okay, and it has corrected it. I still have 30 days of buffer. Okay, I'll go to fever chart. Okay, and you see here, I'm still on green. Okay, actually, it would have gone to red by now. Okay, because of that action that we have taken, I'm still in green. Now, if you are a smart scheduler, you would have generated one fever chart before and adjust it and generated a fever chart again. So it would have gone here and then reduced it here. You could have got one promotion also in your project. Okay. Anyway, we'll leave it. So I'll put this one here. So-and-so activity got delayed, but so-and-so activity is accelerated, and thereby we recovered 10 days of schedule on the project. Okay, so the buffer used is 25%, chain complete is 80%, close to 80%, and I submit it for the records. Okay, comment are saved, okay, and then I'll close it. Okay, so now you are in a very, very good shape. Okay, it is only flooring and then followed by painting and inauguration. So there is a minor shift between the inauguration date, I think about 10 days. Yeah, okay, 10 days of shift. You can go ahead and inaugurate it. Okay, so we got a saving of 30 days on what we have built it on 40 days. Okay, I'm giving you a very rosy picture. I know this may not happen, but why we should be pessimistic? Okay, let's be optimistic in this webinar. And you can do your projects in a very, very controlled manner, very proactively, making adjustments time to time, and then do that. Okay, so I think I'll stop here. you can see the trend, how we started, the next update, next update, next update. So how the fever chart has moved over the last 4 updates, and you're able to keep the project on control. Now, we also developed a few more features. We can do a RASI chart. Okay, you can click this and then identify the deliverables for which a RASI to be built, and then associate resources to it, and that can be reported. Okay, there are many things. This tool is we continually develop and improve this tool. But right now, in fact, one of our corporate customer asked for the fever chart feature. We have built it and we are scheduling a demo with that customer next week. And I'm sure, okay, many of you, okay, may be wanting for such a tool, okay, to statistically calculate buffer and then monitor it and then incorporate critical chain project management in a very cost-effective, revolutionary way. This could be one solution. Okay, I'll stop here so that we can have about 10 to 15 minutes of useful discussion. Okay, so I'll keep the floor open, and please come up with your feedback, comments, questions. Anything is okay for us.
PS sir, Sanjay here.
Yes, Sanjay.
Yeah, sir, I had just a bit doubt here that inauguration date hospital, why is changing? Because earlier it was 7/9. So as per requirement, it should be 7. We have to maintain it 7/9 only. Why it's shifting? If we are using we are using buffer, then it should be that day only, no, sir?
Okay. Which one you are talking about?
Inauguration.
Inauguration 79, no? 79% you are talking about, or which one you are talking about?
I'm talking about the date, that inauguration date, hospital inauguration date is shifted from 7/9 to 19/9.
Correct, correct. Because we have consumed 10 days of buffer, no?
Okay. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, according to the 50% confidence level, it is 7/9. Okay. According to 90% confidence level, it is 25th October. So now, with just 10 days delay, we are inaugurating the hospital.
Yes, right.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir,
any other questions? Yeah, please.
Sir, in this schedule, can we, assign the risk in the respective activity?
Yes,
for
Parivesh,
example,
but that comes up as an additional feature, which is also actually we have incorporated it. There is something called another tab will be the risk register. If you click, then it will open activity and associated risk with probability, impact, all those things. Okay, the feature can be extended by including a risk register. Yes.
Okay, and we can get the probability distribution also on applying the risk. I'm coming from the background of that risky project and other tools.
Yeah.
So that kind of feature we have in this?
We are not trying to bring that kind of sophisticated feature, Parivesh, because I don't know how many organizations you have come across who does that kind of advanced risk modeling. Okay. 1% of the organizations.
Yeah, true, absolutely.
So if we bring it that kind of complexity, we will limit the usage to only 1%. Our idea is as many organizations want to practice, they should adapt. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I hope you understand.
Yeah, I understood. Okay.
This is a common man tool.
Right. I got you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Any other questions from anyone? Yeah. See, this is not just okay to put you into test. In fact, I want feedback from the community. I'm so happy, almost 40%, 40 people have joined this webinar. We are very delighted. Okay. So what is your genuine feedback about your tool? Because you would have kind of used manually building this kind of buffer and then using it in your company. Will it help you?
PS sir, here Sanjay, again, I want to just say something about this, right? So up to this time, we are using just basic level of MSP. So maybe these tools are very much new, and I wanted to explore it more and more, because the tools are looking very beautiful, and maybe in coming days, we are going to change our image by doing this kind of analysis.
Exactly. Okay,
So,
to a customer,
yeah,
you can demonstrate that your scheduling is very matured. You can rely on it, and how, okay, I will be able to control the project. If you think about a 1,500 crore project with 6,000 activities, okay, how much more discipline required? And if you demonstrate this as a primary contractor to the client, you can ask for any incentive, because every day of delay will cost crores to the company, okay, to the customer. So you can tell them authentically, I can advance confidently, you can project a date and you can demonstrate it. Yeah.
excellent, sir. Excellent. And I think in future, we'll meet you again for going deep understanding of these things.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot,
All
sir.
right. Thank you. I just want, before all of you, I would like to congratulate our senior developer by name Ramya. Okay, you see here, she is there, and she has put a lot of effort on it with help from others, my Prashant, Samuel. There are so many people who worked to provide this functionality, to test it, and then bring it to this kind of stability that we are able to show it to you without throwing any error, okay, on this particular area.
Excellent, sir. Excellent.
Okay. Now,
Sir, this is JP here.
yes, JP.
Yeah. So in this feature, the schedule audit, can we have like a chart representing like how this schedule? How to put it? Because what happened was I have developed a schedule. It has gone for a review at the client side, and they have provided a feedback. Like they have analyzed the schedule. Maybe it is not schedule audit, schedule analysis.
Okay.
And they have given a feedback how perfect it is.
Okay.
So in this tool, that sort of feature is there, or
it is exactly the same thing, Sanjay or JP. Okay.
so
It is
do we
exactly
have
the
any
same.
pictorial?
What you can do is first analyze the schedule using this tool, fix all the issues, and then send your schedule to customer. I can guarantee that okay, 80% of the suggestions, cautions, and messages we can avoid, because it will fix all the problems. Because this analyzer actually is built around those customer expectations, which are not a specific customer. It is an international standardized expectation. So it is built on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other?
Ms. Jayanti has asked whether the tool is available for them to try.
Okay. Now, good. Thank you so much, Jayanti. If you are using a licensed project management software, that is Microsoft Project, okay, just to send a request to us, to Ratna, saying that I want to receive an evaluation copy, and we will send you, for example, since you have asked for it, I can give you a 60-day evaluation copy, an EXE, maybe with a simple agreement, and you will receive the evaluation edition, and then you can build real-time project schedules using this. Okay, now the same invitation I'm extending to as many as you want. Okay, any of you who want to, okay, do this on your real-time projects, okay, please write to us, and then we will send you a small non-disclosure agreement once you electronically sign and send it back. Okay, we will give you a licensed access of this tool, and you can install it and then start using it. Okay, as a webinar benefit I'm giving you, usually we give it as 30 days, but I'm giving you a 60-day evaluation version for this. Okay, afterwards you can make a decision whether to buy or what is to be done. All right. Any further question? Otherwise, probably I will pass it on to Ratna. So you can take over. In the meantime, if you have any further questions also, you can ask. Over to Ratna.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, Srinivasan sir, for this presentation and walkthrough of PERT Plus demo. And thank you all, each one of you here. All of you stayed till the end, and I really extend my thanks to all of you, and thanks for your wishes also to Provi team about the product. So we are sure that this is going to serve a great purpose for our project management community, right? And then, like, I have given the feedback form link in the chat. So I request all of you to fill and submit the feedback. So we will be sharing the certificate, the 1.5 PDU certificate, to the email ID which you mentioned in the feedback form. Right? So please ensure you submit the feedback so that by Monday you will be receiving the certificate in your mail ID. Right? So if you have any further questions, we'll take it up.
Congratulations to Ramya and the whole development team. I think that's a great tool or product, whatever it is. I do not know. I mean, I'm very new to this, but I see the complications of the tool. It's a great development. So great effort. Congratulations. And thank you, Srinivasan sir.
Thank you, Madhavi. Thank you so much for the feedback. Good. And good. Thanks a lot. I think for this participation, attendance actually motivates us to do more for you. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So are you planning to have one more session on this, sir, or for this, or just to walk us through one more time, or this is the only final session?
See, in a short webinar like this, we can't do more, JP. In case, for example, if you are actively evaluating, if you want any of your colleagues or your senior management to show this, feel free to write to us. We can give an exclusive demo for your organization and for your colleagues. Okay, not a problem. Okay, that's how it is. Maybe about 1.5 months from now, we can launch one more webinar on this so that anyone who could not participate here can participate, and also new members can participate. Because in any case, it is not just marketing, it is actually helps you all to learn, okay, how to develop a good caliber plans and how to track and then how to build contingencies. It is also a good learning session for many of you, I guess. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, either for your specific company or as a whole group, we can do it again.
Yes, sir. Sir, you just received, one person has mentioned that you can come to Qatar. We need people like him. I'm not able to read his name. It is given in Arabic. So
okay.
Thank you, sir.
We'll do that. You plan one webinar for your company or for your Qatar PMI chapter, anything, or even if there are about 20, 30 friends of you who are PM community, as part of the community, extend the invitation. and we'll do a webinar, maybe exclusively on CCPM plus application of CCPM on PERT plus. We'll do it for you, friend. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Prasad, we need to thank Angel Bright, sir, for extending this invitation to you all, through which you are all here. Thank you. So we'll thank him separately as well. All right. So I hope all of you are giving your feedback in the link. So if you have some, yes, sir.
I think without feedback, you will not get 1.5 PDU. That's a small catch. Please, okay, not just for PDU, please feel free to share your feedback. We'll be, okay, if anything can be improved, we can improve. Or if you want any specific, for example, if you want, sir, I want 1.5 hour session only on schedule audit. Okay, I can drive more. What are the key kind of international expectations are built in that tool? I can do that. Or any other topic related to project, program, portfolio management is of your interest. You put it in the remarks, and we will organize and we will invite you personally for such workshops. Okay. So thank you on behalf of my team. I extend very warm thanks to all of you. And thank you, my dear Provi team, who worked hard to develop this tool, to bring it to this level of maturity and communicate it to alumni and other audience to make this webinar a successful one. Thank you, Ratna. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Ramya, and Timothy, Sandeep, all of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all. So if you have submitted the feedback,